Hello and welcome. Today we're going to build a restaurant. I have done some other videos we are still in my Realms world. Actually, I have a few Realms worlds because they recently did an update where instead of just having one, you can have three and a mini game. So I still have one that we've started on, but we made another one. We wanted to try another map seed. And in this one, I have resources bumped up. I've shown how to do that in other videos. When you're creating your world, you can do the customized. And when you do go in to customize that world, then you can bump up your resources so that where normally diamond would be hard to find, it would be beyond plentiful. So there are a couple of videos where I've shown how to do that actually. One was a recent one. I believe it's called The Village. And then I believe when I created Kalefall, that video has been on for a while, and I believe I showed how to do it there. Anyway, a lot of times I do bump up the resources when I make my worlds because even though I'm not working right now, I do have other things to do with my time, and I love to play other games too. I don't just play Minecraft 24/7, although I do play it quite a bit. I also love to play Rift. Shroud of the Avatar is still in beta, but I check that out from time to time. I play single player games. I actually have to cook and clean sometimes, and sleep and eat and take a shower and, the real life bothersome things that you have to stop and do. Anyway, I mentioned in one of my previous videos that I would like to do a cooking show. And, Minecraft style. So I thought we would start with building a restaurant with a nice big kitchen, plenty of room for, cooking. And then, of course, we're going to need lots of seating for our customers and things like that. Well, the village that I have shown in the previous videos, I don't have a good building site there right now. I need to do some serious excavating and planning because I do want that village to have a particular plan. Got, residential, and I've got an apartment complex. I have a Emporium, import-export building. I've got a magic house where we have our nether portal and our enchantment table and things. So I do have an idea of what I want that village layout to be to an extent, but I don't have it all completely done. But right now, the only building sites that I have would be too close to the livestock. And I'm thinking, if somebody's sitting down to supper, they really don't want the wind to shift, and their food might not taste quite as good if they can smell sheep manure. So I'm thinking building a restaurant right next to the sheep pen is probably not a very good idea if you want any kind of reality to your layout anyway. If you don't care, then it doesn't matter. It's your game, it's your world, you play it however you like, build it wherever you want to. But for me, I wanted to keep it away from the livestock. So I went to another village. I have taken the time to, I go in creative mode every so often. I get tired of building, I get tired of collecting resources, and I'll go into creative mode and just fly around and find new biomes and locate new villages and village temple or desert temples or whatever, and I'll make a note of the coordinates. If you don't know, F3, it's a lovely tool. If you look at the second paragraph on the left side, the XYZ, that gives you your coordinates. Right now I'm at negative 1877.862, 65 blocks up, and I'm at negative 10056.906. So if you use those coordinates, you can teleport to them, and it makes it quite handy. I mention realms a lot because I happen to love realms. If you have a subscription, or if you buy a realm, before they did the update, you could only have one world. But they did an update not too awful long ago, and now you can have 3, and you can switch between them without losing the other ones. You can also, in addition to those 3 worlds, you have an access to mini games. So it's pretty cool. There are multiplayer servers out there that are free. You can have a multiplayer server for free. Realms costs money. If you put it on a credit card where it's automatically billed every month, it costs $10.30. And for me, it's a worthy investment, because even though you can do the other for free, the advantage to using realms, for one thing, you get to invite who you want. You can invite 20 people. Only 10 people can be online at one time. They maintain your server for you. You can pick backups, like you can go into the configuration and say something happened, you glitched, and there's like this major disaster or whatever. You can pull it, you can load it back up from a previous save, so you can undo that glitch and hopefully not have it happen again. Excuse me. If you have a free multiplayer server, not using realms, I believe that you have to have it online in order for them to access it. Well, with realms, it doesn't matter whether I'm on or not. My friends can get on because the server is being handled by them, which, you know, that's what you're paying for. So, and they do shut the server down. I believe it's once a day to reset it, to do their backup, but it only takes a few minutes. It's not like WoW or Rift or these other MMORPGs where the servers are all shut down for hours. It's just a few minutes. So if you have the money to spend, and if you want to do multiplayer, Realms is really, really a wonderful option. Not for everybody, but I love it. And it's only myself and one other person that plays on my server. His name in Minecraft is Rift Cortex. He and we met in Star Wars Galaxies, the emulator, over a year ago, and we've been gaming buddies ever since. So anyway, you'll hear a lot about him throughout my videos, and he joins me on some of them. I went into survival mode. I stayed in survival mode to clear the grass, to mow the yard, basically. And I'm going to use creative mode to actually build this restaurant, just for a time saver for the video. So let's go into creative mode. You can type out the word creative, or you can just use C and it works. Okay. First, we're going to want a rather large. Let's go ahead and let's bust this out real quick. The reason I did the grass in survival mode is because creative mode, you have instant block destroy, and I wanted to be able to mow the grass without digging up all the dirt. For that reason, even in survival mode, like when I go to the Nether, I actually use, even though I have diamond tools that I use primarily, when I go to the Nether, unless I'm using an enchanted diamond pick with Silk Touch trying to get the glowstone. Most of the time I use stone tools there because the diamond cuts through that nether rack so fast. If you're not careful, you will be swimming in lava and not have much warning. Let's go ahead and let's break this down to the water level. That'll give us a little more space to work with. Not a lot, but some. I want this to be quite spacious. And we're not going to worry about making a living area in this. It's going to be a restaurant. Most of the time, whenever I do shops or businesses or whatever, I usually have living quarters attached somewhere, somehow, whether it's an upstairs or a loft or whatever. But this little village has lots of houses already, so we're just going to make a building that is nothing but a restaurant. This is only going to take a second. I know you don't want to watch me do this all day, but creative mode, it's pretty fast. And I'm going to try to stick to materials that would be pretty easy to gather in survival mode, even though there's a lot of stuff that is like the quartz. The quartz is a lot of fun for building. It has a nice look to it, but it's really hard to get enough quartz in survival mode to do a lot of this stuff, so I'm going to try to stick with more easily accessible resources. And of course, if you are fortunate enough to have a lot of quartz, or if you mined out like the water monuments, water temples, maybe you have a lot of prismarine or something like that, or maybe you just want to do it in creative mode, feel free to use different materials. That's one of the beauties of Minecraft, is the versatility. I just absolutely love that. Alright, we're going to leave that alone and clear this out real quick. One of my, I've mentioned before in other videos that Minecraft is kind of a catch-22. One of the things that I absolutely adore about Minecraft is the versatility. You can be so creative and you have so many options, but at the same time, for some people that have a mind that doesn't know how to shut down and relax, and ideas that just flood and go crazy, bouncing around in your head, sometimes Minecraft is a little frustrating because you do have so many options that it's hard to stay focused. Well, for me anyway. Because I watch a lot of videos. I watch a lot of the YouTube videos. I'm a real big fan of Scar. Good Times with Scar. If you haven't seen his videos, you really, really need to check him out. He is very upbeat, very positive. He does amazing builds, incredible builds that blow my mind. And I'm not exactly a novice, but my stuff is pretty simple. I don't, my stuff is not as, I don't know. I think I'm creative, but I don't think I have his flair. Let's put it that way. He has a flair that I can't, it doesn't come to me naturally like it seems to with him. But I think he's more of an artist, and perhaps his brain just has a bit more flair than mine does. But anyway, you should really check him out. Good Times with Scar. He's fantastic. I've recently discovered Stud Muffin Sam, and I've watched some of his older videos, and when he first started making videos, he didn't do a very good job with his commentary, but his videos are still worth watching because he has some fantastic ideas. His videos get better over time. His commentaries get better, and they're a lot more interesting. Excuse me. So I still recommend him highly. But just be patient, because like with most people, when you first start something new, you're not going to start out as an expert, chances are. So you got to be patient and give a person a chance to grow and get some experience. And like I said, his older videos, the commentaries aren't so great, but the builds are great. The things that he does are good. And a lot of his ideas, he has this one where he's working on a village, and some of the stuff I've done in my other village is quite similar to what he did. And I did get those ideas spawned from what I saw in his video. So I can't take full credit for that. It's hard to give credit for everything, because even the videos that I watch that are not Scar or they're not Sam, all that stuff absorbs in your brain, and you can't always keep track. Well, yes, I saw this here. Yes, I saw that there. If you have enough input, eventually that stuff's just going to start melting together. And you can't always do what they call shout outs correctly, because at some point you just don't even remember where you saw it. Okay, we are almost finished. This took longer than I expected. I use a program called Debut, D-E-B-U-T. That's what I use to make my videos. And a lot of times I would like to pause my video, but even though it says I can use F6 to pause it, it doesn't seem to work. So I get a little frustrated with that. This looks like a pretty good size space. We are going to let's fill this back in. We are going to make it quite large. And normally I would not cover this up because I would love to have that coal, but for today we are going to cover it up because I want the square footage. But anyway, there are people that get a little butthurt because they're like, oh, they stole my idea, they stole my idea. Well, like I said in a previous video, if you don't want someone to use your ideas, then don't put them on YouTube. It's quite simple. Don't put them on YouTube. Don't teach them how to do it. Don't share it. Keep it to yourself. If you're going to put it on YouTube and do a step-by-step and show people how you did it, then you should probably expect that somebody else is going to do it too. Otherwise, what's the point? So, I think people need to stop being so uptight about, oh, this was my idea, or I get credit for this and I get credit for that. Not everybody has the same idea. Not everybody does everything the same. But, and I know that there's a lot of things that I do that I picked up from watching Scar's videos. There's things that I do now that I've seen from Sam's videos. And I can't go through piece by piece and tell you, I got this here, I got that there. But it's just, you know. So let's do a restaurant. What kind of material do we want to use? Let's keep it simple, so it's something that's easily gathered. And you know, I do remember Sam did a pizzeria with the red brick and the red hardened clay, and I really like that combination. But I've done a building like that already in my other village. I want something that's going to look nice, but I really don't want something that's just typical either. Let's see. So many choices. And I really try to stay away from the cobblestone because it's just so prevalent. How about we use acacia? And I have to use dark oak. I love dark oak so much. That makes a pretty combination. Alright, let's go with that. Let's start with that. And I am not working from a plan. Okay, we want to leave some space out here for some flower beds and stuff. Let's start there. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then let's do a turn. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 maybe. And 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 13, 14, 15. Let's go 14. If you have trouble thinking of floor plans that you want to do, one method is what I'm doing now. I'm basically making a frame pretty much based on the land that I'm working with. No, let's not do that. Let's or you can always do some Googling and pull up actual floor plans for houses you would find in the real world that have been created by actual architects. And you can implement those. Yeah, let's do this. Let's take that out. Oak with that. Okay. We have a pretty good size space here, and it's not just a box. I used to play Ultima Online for quite a few years, almost it was over 6 years I played it back in the old days, about 17 years ago. About 17 years ago I started playing it. And you can do quite a bit of custom building there for designing your houses. And this one guy, he was like, yeah, I do all the building. He said my wife, she likes to live in Borg cubes. Everything she makes looks like a Borg cube. So yes, that's a Star Trek reference. If you don't know what a Borg is, basically the Borg is a species that assimilates every race that comes across and mushes them into their own, and they take their attributes and work it into what they already have. But basically their ships are primarily just big squares, just big cubes. And that's one thing that's I try to avoid when I'm doing houses in Minecraft, is having just big squares for my houses. So anyway, I like to change it up a little bit. So I'm thinking this is the village. So if this is a restaurant for the village, this would probably be the entrance. So let's make this the entrance. And let's see, we need room for a window. So we'll say a window here. Maybe the door could go. Put the door here, maybe. And usually I like to do things pretty symmetrical, but it doesn't always work out that way, and sometimes it's better that it doesn't. So this would be big enough to have a 3-paned window right here. So let's see what it would look like to have 1, 2, 3. Yeah. So we can have a 3-pane window here. And then that can be just wall. Well, we're not going to use this for the walls, though. Okay, and how high do we want to go? I think we need a fireplace. So let's go 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, look at that. 5, 6, 7. Let's go up 8 just to play it safe. I really suck at flying, as you can see. Like I said, I'm usually in survival mode. I don't do creative mode very much. Oh no, I'm too high. All right, let's get the skeleton done first. I believe 7 is all the space you need for a safe fireplace, but I'm doing 8 just in case. And even though it's not necessary to have such high ceilings for a character that's only 2 tiles high, we don't want the place to burn down. Plus, we want this to have a little bit of elegance, so high ceilings are a nice architectural feature. Well, that was lucky. If I'd tried doing that on purpose, I wouldn't have been able to. That lined up just right. There is probably a way that you can lower yourself while flying without having to drop to the ground, but I have not figured that out yet. So if anybody knows, please feel free to leave a comment, because I would really like to know. Okay, let's see. We got the basics in, and probably gonna go with a dark oak roof. So, well, let's do the roof later, because I'm not sure about how I'm going to do this entrance. It may be a little... Okay. So we have our basic structure. So we have our entrance here. We're going to need some steps. We're going to go ahead and use stairs. Going to go with that. I'm so used to using E to open and close my inventory in survival mode that a lot of times I do that. And I like granite for a pretty pathway. Erg. So we're going to use granite. There. Okay. And then eventually all this will be changed to granite for the pathway for this village. I used diorite. I believe it was diorite. Cookies and cream. Yeah, diorite for my other village. Okay, so we have our little pathway up to the restaurant, and we are going to use the dark oak doors. And let's see. Let's have doors here. And one over there. Let's put some doors here. And I am not counting this off, as you can see. I'm just kind of eyeballing it. That looks pretty centered. Okay. So we have some entrances and exits. Now let's see. We're going to use acacia for the walls. That's gonna be glass. Obviously, if you're doing this in survival mode, you're going to be needing to use scaffolds with your dirt. Let's see. Put some glass there, maybe. And let's just fill this in. Okay. So there's the front. That will all be glass. We'll fill those in for windows. And let's do this entry or exit. I know you can click and drag and it goes faster, but I don't know if it's the sensitivity of my mouse or just my own personal clumsiness, but that tends to stack up on me, so I try not to click and drag too awful much. Down, down, down. Okay, so there's another entrance. And in creative mode, if you do click and, oh, I guess I could have left that. If you do click and drag and it does stack up, it's pretty easy to bust it because it's an instant destroy for the block. But in survival mode, it's tends to create more of an annoyance because you have to actually chop it out or mine it out depending on your materials. Let's see, how do we want to do this? Doesn't look like we're going to have the same space for windows that we had for the others, but we could do let's do that. That still is quite a bit of window to let in some light. Now, considering the view that we have here, I'm thinking we need to go with quite a bit of glass. We don't want to block that view. It's a really pretty view, so we're going to have some large windows here. Yeah, I think we are going to use that as a full. And as you can see, I'm just kind of going with it, seeing what comes out. I'm going to try to speed this up a little bit so you don't fall asleep on me. So these will be huge picture windows. Let's put another one here. This is a pretty view. Okay. And need to figure out, okay, this will be, okay, that's the entrance. So there would be the dining area. And we want to capitalize on those views. So let's say we have we want foyer. Let's have an entrance. Maybe like so. That could be the entrance. And then we could do like archways here. Oh no, because that interferes with our window. Let's take that out. Another one. We don't want it to interfere with the window, so we'll do that. Yeah, that's better. Okay. And then oh, come on. And we could make this a great big archway. Okay. So this will be a wall, as we need to section off our kitchen. And we're going to have this be our kitchen. We want a pretty good sized kitchen. Okay. Now, Scar is really good about planning this stuff out. I think he does these builds like in creative mode somewhere else to figure out exactly what he's going to need, exactly how he's going to build it. And then he does his video to show everyone else how to do it. And he's quite organized and well planned. Me, I just kind of go with it. I did, on another world, I found a floor plan that I liked of this ranch style A-frame, basically, and tried to implement it into Minecraft. Well, I could, but I had to modify it because it had quite a sharp point along the front, and you can't exactly get that in Minecraft because everything has to be blocked. So I made some alterations to it, but I pretty much got the style. And I did the basic floor plan like they had it, as close as I could get with Minecraft. And then I ended up building on it and tearing out this wall and building on that and tearing out this wall. And now we are going to need some wall space for our stoves and things and our cabinets. So this will have some windows, but probably not near as many as the others. So let's have this up here for natural lighting, and then even though I know this is a restaurant and you probably don't want your dishwasher gazing out the window daydreaming when they're supposed to be working, I really like to have a window behind the sink. So we're going to at least allow for that. And it may change, it may get filled in. I think I want more window up here. Okay. And chances are that's not all going to stay there because it's going to get covered up with cabinets and such. But for now, we're going to leave it like that. Okay, so let's see. Kitchen. Let's bring the kitchen in. That gives us a pretty good sized kitchen to work with. Lots of cabinets, counter space. And then this gives us seating area for the... Oh, we still have to do these walls. For the restaurant. And we could even do like, yeah. We'll do some covered areas for outdoor dining. Alright, so let's see. We're gonna need doors for the kitchen, but let's do oak instead. No, that has that opening. Let's see how birch looks. We may end up going with the oak after all. We'll see. Do this real quick while we're up here. Sorry, I'm getting quiet. I'm thinking. Considering changing the back wall here and possibly this wall to a stone brick for the kitchen area. You know, to reduce fire hazard kind of thing. Alright, so we we need. And yes, this video is going to be long because we're going to do the whole build in one video. So feel free to pause, feel free to quit the video and come back and watch the rest later. Okay, we have that. I thought we missed. Yes, we need to do these. And again, I think we're going to use quite a bit of window. Now, right now, that doesn't have quite as pretty of a view, but we could do like a little waterfall or something to do a little bit of terraforming to fix that up. So it'll be a little more pleasant. And we'll just leave that open for a glass. We'll make that a huge picture window as well. Okay. Oh, missed another one. Good Lord. Okay. So we have, looks like we have these walls, but I don't want monster egg. Stone bricks. Let's see which one of these. I would really like to use the red brick, but I don't know how well that's going to look with this acacia. So let's test it. I know it looks good with a dark oak. Everything looks good with a dark oak, in my opinion. I probably overuse it something fierce, but I really think it is such a pretty color. And it's easy to harvest. I feel like I can go to the savannah and chop wood all day long and not get enough acacia. But I can go to a rift forest and it seems like within just minutes I am full of dark oak. And I'm not sure if that's true, but that's how it seems. It doesn't look too bad, really. Yeah, I think we are going to go with, and this is an awful lot of brick, so that means hunting a lot of clay if you do want to go this route. I think we're going to do this wall as well. Sorry about that. You sat there and watched me fill all that in, and now I'm changing it. But that's Minecraft for you. Even if I was in survival mode, I do this stuff all the time. The house I was telling you about before, the little A-frame, well, not little, it wasn't little, but the A-frame ranch style that I was doing, oh my god. I was in survival mode, and I probably redid the ceiling in the front room easily 8 different times. I will try to refrain from doing that here so you don't have to sit through it. But like I've said before in previous videos, one thing about Minecraft is you don't have to keep yourself in a box. Just, you know, do something crazy once in a while, do something weird and funky and leave it, and then come back and see if you like it, because you just might. And if you don't, you can just rip it out. Not a big deal. Yeah, I think I like having some brick in here for the kitchen. That can stay acacia. That can stay acacia. But that way that gives us two walls that we can use like for furnaces and ovens and or whatever. Excuse me. And it will be it'll give it a little different look. Of course, the more I look at this, I'm not sure I like it with the acacia, but I like it well enough it's going to stay. Let's put it that way. All right, so we have that. We need a floor. I think I'm going to go with the birch. Love the birch, love the birch. And I think that'll be really pretty. And of course we could always use carpet to add some color. Oh, whoops, we're going to need... Well, we'll figure that out in a minute. Let's just get the floor in. And you know, I made the ceilings high because I want a fireplace, but now I'm not sure where I'm going to put it. But we're definitely going to have one. Or at least some kind of fire feature. But I really do want a fireplace. Problem is they take up so much space. But we may put it right here. I think that's probably going to be our best bet. Alright, and you know what? I think I am going to use this brick after all. We'll use it for the floor in the kitchen. We're definitely not going to carpet the kitchen. This is supposed to be a restaurant. And, you know, we need the rough floor so that the employees don't slip and fall quite as easily. They've got some grooves in the floor. Now usually I prefer to do my floors with slabs and target the top of the block so that it's the upper slab and then it has an empty space underneath, because it opens up a lot more options for decorating with furniture. And we may go back and change some of these bricks to slabs, but for the sake of time, we're just going to use the blocks for now. If you're doing this in survival mode and you don't want to have to tear out, I would suggest doing the slabs to start with. I strongly recommend using slabs for your floors on a regular basis. But make sure you target the top of the block, not the bottom. Don't just lay them flat on the ground, because that's going to mess you up. But anyway, if you do it at the top, it opens up more potential for your furniture and stuff to have a nice look to it. Okay. Now, let's get our windows in. And I think we're going to go with the light gray because it doesn't have quite the white smears that this does. It has a slight tint, but not enough of a tint to interfere with the view. So we're going to fill all this in with light gray glass panes. See, that white smear is not quite so obvious with the light gray. And I really like the black. But we don't want to, we want to capitalize on the view, not diffuse it. So flying around like a drunk. Too far this way, too far that way. Okay. So we have some nice windows. But yeah, that's going to be pretty. All right. There. That's better. Okay. Oh, back to the windows. We have lots of windows. Oh, not that. Stop that. So yeah, this is going to be a long video, but at the same time, you'll be able to look at it and go, oh, so it'll take me about this long to build this. Targeting this is a little tedious for the panes. There are two advantages that I can think of off the top of my head to using the glass panes as opposed to the glass blocks for your windows. The disadvantage is the targeting, because as you can see, it's tedious, but you get more for your money when you use panes because, you harvest the sand and you smelt the sand to get the glass. Well, then you use the glass blocks to make the panes. And I believe it's 6 glass blocks makes 16 glass panes. So your resources go farther when you use the panes. Plus, when you use the panes, it makes this nice little automatic window ledge. And I'm not the only one who's noticed that. I've heard that commented on in other videos as well. It's a nice look. Or at least for me, my taste. Another thing about Minecraft, just because I think something looks good doesn't mean you're going to think it looks good. And you may think something looks wonderful and I think it looks weird. So personal taste. That's the wrong one. Your game, your world, your taste, your preference.